Okay, this is a Cobra Quickie. A Cobra Quickie. Sorry. For John. We're going to go and discuss headlights real quick. Alright? Now, this is the outer trim ring. This is the bezel that goes up against the body. Now, you can shift this by moving the whole housing up and down, left and right. It's very easy to do. Take all the screws out. If you use screws, if you use rivets, you're kind of screwed, but don't worry about it. You can replace the rivets with screws. Now, there's one screw here on the bottom. The screw on the bottom, I'm going to take it off right now. Watch. You'll actually get to see me take it off. Alright, we got that out. And now, I'm going to take this ring off. Okay. Now, you can see here the trim ring that attaches to the headlight bucket. Now, even if your headlight says Lucas, Lord of Darkness on the front of it, it shouldn't stick out any more than this. Okay, let's do it from the side. You see that? The trim ring holds the headlight to the bucket. The bucket is adjustable. Okay, you can adjust this up and down by removing these screws, shifting it up, and using alternate screw locations. You don't have to put a screw in every hole. Now, let's go over that real quick. It doesn't matter if your headlight says Lucas, Lord of Darkness. It needs this headlight trim ring. If you don't have that headlight trim ring, it's not going to be fully seated inside the headlight housing. It'll actually be outside of it because there's nothing to hold this headlight to the bucket except for the trim ring. Let's put this back on real quick. It's very simple to do. There's a tab at the top. Boom, look at that. Now, and we just put the screw in there, like so. And that's it. You can tell it looks just like. Now, can we use a Volkswagen headlight trim ring and a Volkswagen headlight use a Volkswagen headlight bucket with the trim ring and the headlight bezel for the Volkswagen? The answer to that is the bezel for the Volkswagen, unlike the one on the Cobra, is thicker at the top than it is at the bottom. Because the Volkswagen fender is like this. It's at an angle. So, we have a smaller section of the bezel at the bottom and a bigger section of the bezel at the top. Meaning you cannot use the headlight bezel for a Volkswagen and the headlight bucket for a Volkswagen on the Cobra. Also, one of the problems with using a Volkswagen bucket or headlight bucket is in the back. We'll look at the back again. Okay, you see that? There is nothing like that on the headlight bucket for headlight bucket for the Volkswagen, because the fender it attaches to the fender. The fender itself on the Volkswagen has that enclosure in the back. If you try to put it on something like this, it's not going to work. Now, how do I know this? Well, I know this because of the Tiffany and the Destiny are the only two cars that classic motor carriages ever produced that used a Volkswagen headlight bucket. Now, we made our own trim rings out of stainless, and they had a rubber seal that went around them, and they went on the headlight housing, and it went on the front fender. And if you ever look at the big headlights on a Tiffany or classic motor carriages Tiffany, you'll see that headlight is a big bezel. It's actually about that tall, and it's made out of stainless steel. So, what have we learned? Lucas, Lord of Darkness, you still should use a trim ring that attaches it to the bucket. The bucket is the adjustable part. The bezel that goes around, where that sits in relationship to the fender, okay, can be adjusted. Move it up, move it back sideways until you get it near perfect. This one's a little off. I'm going to have to adjust it later on. This one's practically perfect. These are the empty buckets that I recommend to people. As you can see, it's almost perfect. There is a slot here and a slot here. Slot in the top, slot in this side means its headlight is straight up and down, left and right. Same is true here. Now you can adjust these, and I haven't adjusted them yet because it's on the car or on the body, and the body's hanging on space, as you know, from these four little things. And because the body's hanging in space, I can't really... Oop, I can do this. Hang on. 1 second. See if this works. There. Look at that. Ooh, now we have light. So you can see the body's held up in 4 straps. I adjust the headlights with the body on the chassis in the car, and that makes them perfect. And I actually pull it up to this barn, adjust it top to the side, and that makes everything work out the way it's supposed to. But you can raise these up a little bit by just re-screwing it into a slightly different spot. Very easy to do. Alright. By the way, I didn't get anything done today because the funeral went on longer than I expected, and I had to go to American Legion meeting for the Honor Guard, of all things, because the Honor Guard's actually part of the American Legion. With that, this is Mike, over and out, and there goes my dogs after something.